Hello students, today we are going to do the topic of trading on equity, and this is a very important topic of chapter financial management of your class 12th business studies. Before I explain you what is trading on equity, you should know few concepts of this chapter. First is capital structure. Capital structure is a mixture of equity and the debt in the total capital of a business. So out of total capital, how much is your equity, that is owner's fund, and how much is your debt, that is borrowed fund. That is what makes the capital structure of a company. The second concept which you should know is the main aim of financial management. The main aim of the financial management is, or the primary objective of financial management is wealth maximization. And what is wealth maximization is doing such activities which will increase the market price of equity shares. So the primary aim of a finance manager is that they should take such decisions which will increase the market price of equity shares, and does it increase the wealth of a equity shareholder. So whenever the capital structure of company is designed, it is keeping in mind the primary objective of financial management, that is wealth maximization. So whatever mix of debt and equity you are deciding for your company, you have to ensure that with that capital structure which you have decided, the market price of equity shares should increase. Now we'll come to the meaning of trading on equity. Trading on equity refers to increase in profit earned by equity shareholders due to the presence of fixed financial charges like interest. This means by using fixed charge bearing securities like debentures, loans in the capital structure of the company, return to equity shareholders can be increased. So if you want that equity shareholders should get more return in the capital structure of the company, there should be a mix between equity and the debt, because on the debt you have to pay the fixed interest. So it will ultimately benefit the shareholders of the company. Now I'll explain this with an example. You can see that in front of you there is a data of two companies, company X and Y. In company X, we have equity shares of rupees 10 lakh, whereas in company Y, we have equity shares of rupees 4 lakh. In company X, you will find that there is no debentures, but in company Y, there are debentures of rupees 6 lakh. So the total capital employed by both the companies is same, that is 10 lakh each. The only difference is that in company X, you have only equity shares, whereas in company Y, there is a mixture of equity and debt. 40% is your equity and 60% is your debt. So now you have to decide as an investor which company will be more beneficial to you, in which company the shareholders will get more returns. Here I am assuming that both the companies, they are into same business, they are earning the same type of return. So as a shareholder, which particular company is going to give more returns? Now let us see this example in detail. So you can see that there are two companies X and Y with similar capital employed, that is 10 lakh each. The only difference is company X is not having any debt in the capital structure, whereas company Y, they are having 10% debentures of 6 lakh. Now what do you mean by 10% debenture is that on these debentures company has to pay the fixed interest of 10%. Now, I am assuming that both the companies, they are into similar business, they are earning same amount of returns. And in this case, I'm assuming ROI of company to be 30%. ROI means return on investment. And if it is 30% means if you're investing 100 rupees, you are getting a return of 30 rupees. So if ROI of the industry is 30%, both the companies, they will earn the similar return, that is 30% of 10 lakh, that is 3 lakh each. This is called as EBIT, that is earning before paying interest and tax. Now there is no commitment for company X to pay interest, whereas company Y, they have to pay the fixed interest of 10% on 6 lakh, which will be calculated as 60,000. After paying interest, earning before tax will be for company X, it is 3 lakh. For company Y, it is 3 lakh minus 60,000, that is 2 lakh 40,000. Now from this earning, both the companies, they have to pay tax. I'm assuming tax rate to be 40%. So company X has to pay 40% of 3 lakh, that is 1 lakh 20,000. Whereas company Y has to pay 40% of 2 lakh 40,000, that is 96,000. So you can see here that company Y is paying less tax, whereas company X is paying more tax. This is because of the interest element which is there. Interest is a tax deductible expense. It saves the tax of the company. Although both the companies, they were earning similar profits, but company X is paying more tax as compared to company Y. Now earning after paying tax for company X will be 3 lakh minus 1 lakh 20,000, that is 1 lakh 80,000. For company Y, it is 2 lakh 40,000 minus 96,000, which comes out to be 1 lakh 44,000. Now whatever profits are left after paying tax, these belong to the shareholders of the company. So in this case, now we are going to calculate earning per share, that is EPS, which is calculated by using the formula, that is earning after tax divided by number of equity shares. I'm assuming that the face value or the nominal value of share is 10. So in company X, there are 1 lakh equity shares, whereas in company Y, there are 40,000 equity shares, assuming the face value of share to be 10. So EPS of company X will be 1 lakh 80,000 divided by 1 lakh, which comes out to be rupees 1.8 per share. EPS of company Y will be 1 lakh 44,000 divided by number of equity shares, that will be 40,000, which comes out to be rupees 3.6 per share. So you can see that earning for the shareholder of company Y will be more, whereas the earning per share of company X is less. So it is beneficial for equity shareholders to invest in a company where with the equity shares there are certain securities on which you have to pay the fixed interest. So as a finance manager of a company, the main aim is to increase the return to the shareholders. So they are going to make a mixture of debt and equity in such a way so that equity shareholders, they are getting the maximum return or increased returns. But there is one condition which has to be satisfied for this. The ROI of company should be greater than the interest rate. So you can see here the ROI of company is being assumed as 30%, whereas the interest rate which is being paid on debt is 10%. So ROI is greater than interest rate, then only equity shareholders will get this benefit. Now we are going to explain how this has happened. With use of more debt in the capital structure of the company, equity shareholders, they are getting a return which is more. So they are getting a benefit because of having more debt in the capital structure. Now, why this is happening is on the debt or a loan, company has to pay the fixed amount of interest, which is a tax deductible expense. It saves the tax of the company. And you have to remember when will this happen is this benefit will be derived by equity shareholders only when ROI, that is return on investment of company, is more than the interest rate which you are paying on the debt or the loan. So trading on equity is increase in the profit earned by equity shareholders due to the presence of fixed financial charges like interest in the capital structure of the company. This concept is also called as positive financial leverage or favorable financial leverage. So, whenever somebody says favorable financial leverage, the ROI of the company should be greater than the interest rate. Now let us see another example. In this case, I am taking ROI to be 15%, and you can see here the interest which is paid on debenture is 20%. So in this case, ROI is less than the interest rate. Now let us see what will happen, in which particular company the shareholders will get more returns if ROI is less than the interest rate. So if ROI is 15%, company X will earn 1,50,000, company Y will earn 1,50,000, because we have assumed ROI to be 15%. So 15% of 10 lakh will be 1,50,000 each. So this is earning before paying interest and tax. Now out of this, interest will be paid, and how will interest will be calculated is 20% of 6 lakh, that is 1,20,000. Company X, there will be no interest as there are no debentures in the capital structure. So earning before tax and after deducting interest for company X will be 1,50,000. For company Y, it will be 1,50,000 minus 1,20,000, that is 30,000. Now, assuming tax rate to be 40%, tax paid by company X will be 40% of 1,50,000, that is 60,000, whereas company Y has to pay 40% of 30,000, that is 12,000. Now, earning after paying tax for company X will be 1,50,000 minus 60,000, so it is 90,000 for company X. For company Y, earning after taxes 30,000 minus 12,000, that is 18,000. So now we'll calculate EPS, earning per share. That will be calculated by dividing earning after tax divided by number of equity shares. Here also we are assuming the nominal value of share to be 10. So for company X, EPS will be 90,000 divided by 1 lakh, that is 90 paisa per share. Whereas for company Y, it will be 18,000 divided by number of equity shares, that is 40,000. So it is 45 paisa per share. So you have seen that in this case, the equity shareholders of company Y, they are getting less returns, whereas equity shareholders of company X, their earnings are more. And this particular effect is because ROI of the company is less than the interest rate. You can see the green arrow, ROI of company is 15%, and the red arrow is interest rate. So ROI of company is less than the interest rate. Therefore, the shareholders of company Y, they are not getting more returns. So whenever ROI of company is less than interest rate, it will be called as negative financial leverage or unfavorable financial leverage. So in this case, company should not prefer debt in the capital structure of the company, because the main aim of finance manager is that return to equity shareholders should increase. So they should not use debt in the capital structure if ROI of company is less than the interest rate. For more notes and questions on this topic, you can check our blog www.bstclass12.blogspot.in. Thank you.